Welcome to HDFC Securities 5-minute market wrap-up for the week ended September 13. Indian equity markets rose with the Nifty closing 2% higher this week. The BSE Mid-Cap Index rose 1.5% this week. The BSE Small Cap Index rose by 2.0% for the week and is up by 7.3% in the last 30 days. Among sectoral gainers, BSE Consumer Durables rose 4.5% along with BSE Telecom and Nifty FMCG, which were both up about 3%. BSE Oil and Gas was the only index to close in the red. It was down 3.2% after crude oil prices fell sharply on global demand concerns. Among weekly Nifty 50 gainers, Bajaj Auto shares were up a further 8.4% this week. Shares of Divi's Lab and Bharti Airtel saw an increase of 7% and 6.2% respectively. Among Nifty 50 top losers, ONGC shares declined 5.6% followed by 5.5% decline for Tata Motors. In select market movers, shares of Jubilant Pharmova rallied 25% after US regulator classified its Washington unit as voluntary action indicated. Shares of CE Info Systems rallied 16% on partnership with Zoomcar. Among losers, shares of Oil India fell 6% as crude oil prices fell sharply on demand concerns. Shares of Tata Motors fell 5% after the company cut prices on its electric vehicles and popular cars by up to 2 lakh rupees, signaling weak growth prospects. FIIs were net buyers to the tune of about rupees 15,000 crores of equities in cash this week. DII activity was mixed, but they were net buyers of about rupees 2,400 crores in cash this week. Big week for IPOs with 5 IPOs closing during the week. Bajaj Housing Finance created a new record with bids of 3.2 rupees lakh crores and saw a total subscription of 63.6 times. PN Gargil Jewellers saw an oversubscription of 59 times. Cross, Sri Tirupati and Tolan Tyres were the other IPOs. Western Carriers Indian IPO will close next week. Among new listings, shares of Sri Tirupati Balaji Agro Trading got listed on NSE at a 12% premium to the issue price of Rs 83. In key macroeconomic news, European Central Bank cut its key interest rates by 25 basis points in line with expectations. This was its second rate cut since the cutting cycle began in July. US core CPI increased by 0.3% month-on-month in August 2024 and 3.2% year-on-year and came in above expectations, denting hopes of a 50 basis point rate cut in September. India's CPI for August came in at 3.65% in line with expectations. Chinese CPI increased by 0.4% month-on-month in August 2024 and was below expectations of a 0.5% increase. US equity markets rallied sharply before the US Fed rate meeting next week. The S&P 500 closed higher by 4% and the Nasdaq Composite closed higher by almost 6% for the week. Moving to bond markets, India's 10-year bond yields ended the week lower by 6 basis points in line with a decline in global bond yields. US 10-year bond yields ended further lower by 6 basis points despite higher than expected core CPI inflation. In this section we discuss select research reports published by our research teams. The same can be accessed on our website. In Nestlé, we carried out detailed channel checks which suggest that July 2024 has not seen any meaningful recovery. We will turn high conviction buyers on the stock if the stock were to correct 10% from current levels. We maintain an ad rating with target price of Rs 2,700 per share. Federal Bank has broken through the mid-sized banks league and has steadily narrowed the gap with larger peers. Bank has been focused on growing its mix of unsecured loans and building capabilities in the wealth management space. We maintain buy rating with a target price of Rs 225 per share. Supriya Life is an API player with a focus on niche products having limited competition. Management expects revenue to grow at 22 to 25% and EBITDA margin to be in the range of 30 to 32% for FY25. Supriya has undertaken capacity enhancement for further backward integration for existing products, new product rollouts and CMO/CDMO opportunities. Our retail research team has assigned a base case fair value of Rs 653 per share. That is all for this week. Do refer to the detailed disclaimer on your screens. The securities discussed in the presentation were for information and educational purposes only. Thank you.